Oh me, oh my. Here I think, or should I say here I thought. Here I thought I did the entire recap. But I did do an entire recap of Warframe Devstream 184. But I went back over it and it looks like there's a tad bit of stuff that's still missing. It's probably not important whatsoever at all. But I had no idea that they did a lot of other small little tidbits as well. I gotta say, man, I'm starting to hate my cell phone. Like, it's taking long to load. That's why I prefer to use computers. Cell phones are so pathetic, man. They don't, they simply don't move at the speed of a computer. They just don't. It takes like forever for them just to load something simple. So let me just go on my computer. Okay, so now I'm on my computer and I'm looking at this thing, this Devstream thing, and it says official Warframe wiki on Weird Glop. That's WEIRDGLOOP. Okay, so Weird Glop are the people who've done the Warframe wiki. And it's wiki.warframe.com. That's wiki.warframe.com. It's now their official website in collaboration with WeirdGlop. Because WeirdGlop now does it for them. So before it used to be done by a fan site or fans of Warframe, and then it's now done by WordGlop. And I'm also looking at TennoCon tickets go on sale February 7th. It says here at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, www.tennocon.com on February 7th. Yeah, Eastern Time. General admissions is $50. Collection pack is $25. VIP is $150. Legendary tickets are $1,000. So these legendary tickets are probably you get to actually speak and communicate with the people that work at Devstream. You get to see them, get to talk to them, get to have personal time with them, and get their insight. Because you're dropping $1,000, like no shit. Like it doesn't even matter if they don't want to talk to you or not. It's like, motherfucker, I just gave you $1,000. You better speak to me and get me good information. Like, if I ever go to any fan site or for every singer or anyone, no matter who they are, how popular they are, for a president or a ruler or a pop star, if I drop 1,000 smackers, not even for the ticket, just to see you, be like, you better see me. Otherwise, I'll throw your name into the mud till the day you die. Like, $1,000 ain't something to like just think it's easy to come by unless you're rich. And those motherfuckers are like, they don't consider $1,000 something that's easy to come by either. They count their pennies like that. Unless you those weirdos that don't count pennies who are just come from richness and have it like that, which average people clown on them all the time. We're like, yeah, you're gonna die, being a daddy's or mommy's boy. Even if you inherit your company, it's never going to be truly yours because you never really had it tough. What's coming February 2025? Rhino Heirloom, Nightwave, Operation Belly of the Beast. I know all this. Total Clan about this. The Zoran Prime, Cedo Prime, of course Lavos Prime. Told them about that too. Nora Volume 8, which is 1999 theme. Told them about that too. Tekrot Encore. Told them about that as well. But I didn't tell them about the Kim system and improvements of the Kim system, which is in-game coding stuff, because that's not very important to members. What is important is the thing that I miss, which is the Aura Forma, the Aura rework, or Forma rework, which is they're now going to develop a new type of Forma, which is have the ability to polarize and make any type of mod fit into a mod slot, which is not the same as just for the R or for any mod slot itself. And it's not the same as, well, if they bring out this type of Forma, the Aura Forma rebrand, as they're calling it, it's not going to replace other formas, the standard formas, at all. It's just going to give an open space. So here's the description for it. Aura Forma rebrand. The Aura is no longer going to be limited to Aura slot. So you never have to worry about just putting in an Aura slot. In Tekrot Encore, you'll be able to place a universal polarity on any mod slot using rebranded Omni Forma. So you're going to have your Aura Forma, and then, or should I say, they're going to get rid of the Aura Forma, and it's now going to be called Omni Forma. And Omni Forma can be placed anywhere within your Warframe capacity slots. So it's no longer just going to be tailored for the Aura slot itself. So if you want to move your Aura Forma all around the place and put it anywhere you want, it's going to be a good thing. It also says, to be clear, all existing Aura Formas will be converted to Omni Forma. So it may take time to farm and craft them. So once they put this Omni Forma into existence, once it becomes a thing, once Omni Forma is now a thing, and they get rid of Aura Forma, that's going to be the new normal, which is good, because now you never have to worry about the Aura Forma being just tailored to the Aura slot, especially if you're talking about capacity space. Like if you want to put something else in that Aura slot, but you don't want it to be an Aura Forma, that's the main reason why they did it. You could put anything into that Aura slot, and it doesn't have to be an Aura Forma. Or you could put that Aura, the Omni Forma, as they're calling it, anywhere within your Aura capacity slot, and move that Aura Forma from its original location to wherever you want it. At least that's what it looks like to me. At least that's what it's saying. You're moving your Aura Forma to various different locations that you want to put it. You don't want it to be there. But it's not simply about it being there. It's not being tethered to being in just one place. It could be anywhere you want it. I'm not sure if that's that big of a deal, because it doesn't matter to me where I put my Aura Forma, but it does matter that I want something else to be in that Aura slot location. Like if I want Prime Sure-Footed to be there, but I also want to include an Aura Forma within my capacity slots. I could do that still, but if another slot, let's say a Matarai, is occupying that space in my mod capacity slots, the Omniformer might give me the opportunity to move the Matarai to a different location, and then I put it there without interrupting the Matarai that I had at that slot or reforming it. I'm not sure how that's going to work because I'm thinking about it from this point of view. I'm thinking about it from this point of view.
All set. Serviced your weapons myself.
Like, how is that going to work really? Like, how is that going to work really? Like, if I have all this here, and I have all this format here, I format this, I format this, I format this, I format this, this is format. And the only empty slot is rolling guard here. And this is format too. Like, if I created an Omni Forma, and let's say I want my Omni Forma to be here, would it then allow me to put assimilate up here? I mean, I think that's what they're doing. They're saying anything can now be moved here. I think that's what's going on. I mean, from what they're saying, your aura slot could no longer be tethered to the aura slot location, and you could put it anywhere you want. And that new type of format is going to be called Omniform. You could put it anywhere you want, which means this is going to be just another slot capacity location, and it's no longer going to be an aura slot capacity location, which means you should be able to move any one of these mod when you're shifting around. Let's say when you're doing swap polarity, I should be able to move this and Umbra now over to here. Because see, this type of aura here, which is universal, is what an Omni form is going to be. That's the universal sign, which means any aura forma, or should I say any aura type could go here. It doesn't matter if it's Matarai, Zarimon, doesn't matter. Anyone could fit here. And that's what they're going to do with regards to the aura forma. They turn it into an Omni, just like they did with the auras. It's going to be universal as well. So, which means because this is now going to be universal, if I decide to format this and make this universal with an aura, it's not just going to fit any aura. It's going to be any aura could go here as well as any other mod could go here. I'm very curious about, or maybe that's what it is. Maybe what it is wherever I format and I put the aura or the Omni forma, the slot here is now shifted to the new location, which means this capacity slot over here now is free to be an empty area. So maybe that's what the aura forma would be. You're now shifting where the standards of the aura forma location would be at to now a new location for where you will put the Omni forma, and now the slot will now be open to move to here. Because if I decide to move this and move it here, it's not going to allow me. It says Exumus polarity cannot be swapped. So that's what's going on. You are now going to be able to swap locations within the Exumus location, which is typically aura related or Exumus related. But it didn't say Exumus. It says aura rebrand, which means the aura here rather than Exumus here. because it's a very specific word. It says aura. It didn't say exumas. So maybe exumas are still going to stay exactly at the exumas location. And the aura, your aura here is going to be anywhere over here. So let's say I want to move the Umbra to the aura slot. Aura slot polarity cannot be swapped. So maybe that's what's going on. The aura formers are now going to be turned into omniformers. And maybe that's what they're going to do with exumas as well. Like the exuma slot as well as the aura slot are both going to be omnis. They didn't say exumas is going to be omni, but they did say aura rebrand. So maybe that's what's going on. That's very, very important. That's super important. Because if I put this, if I put the R slot over here to the bottom over here, then this slot is basically empty and I can move anything over here, including an Exumus over here. And if the Exilus is also going to be rebranded as well, then the same applies to that. But then that doesn't make sense. Why would they need to do that? They only need to do one. And if the aura is that one, then it doesn't matter to do it for the Exilus as well. So that's also very important. So I didn't include that in the recap.
The balance of power continues to shift. Navigation is marked with new invasions.
But I am going to include it in this video. So aura rebrand, the aura rebrand in relations to capacity slots, Exilus slots, is now going to be untethered. Whereas they're doing the same for the Exilus as well. But the aura specifically is going to be untethered. I was saying this because I'm assuming they're going to do the same here. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but the aura specific brand is going to be untethered, aura rebrand, and it's now you're probably going to put it wherever you want, and then the slot's going to be empty, which means you're probably going to be able to swap polarity like you couldn't before. So that's another thing that was one thing I missed within the recap. Now, the Kim quality of life stuff, that's simply quality of life. I never really focused on that because I didn't really consider it to be that much of an importance. But with regards to improvement, I would say performance improvement is very important as well. Many players wish to keep chatting with their proto frames once they've reached best friends and love ranks. So this is all, the Kim system is all about keeping in touch with the quality of life for the Warframe 1999 stuff. So if you're not into that, then that shouldn't matter to you. And then there's the QOL stuff, which are ribbon capacity slots, which is also an important thing. Not super important. That's why I didn't include it before. It's because, you know, you could always get rid of ribbons if you have too much, but they're now going to give you an increased amount of ribbon capacity slots. So they're increasing ribbon capacity by 30. So if you're maxed out, you're now going to be able to have like 30 more added. And then there's the Rhino crafting timer, reduced by 24 hours. I'm not sure if it's just for Rhino himself, but if it's just for Rhino, then that means only one thing, that when you're crafting the Rhino Warframe, his timer takes longer than every other Warframe. It probably is a Warframe thing with Rhino and Rhino only. Some people probably complain like, why is this Warframe takes an extra day longer than every other Warframe to craft? Maybe that was an issue that they now solve. And then this capacity slot is going to be increased as well. They're increasing capacity from 0 to 15 for all players. So it says those players who are under MR15 should have an increased mod capacity available to them for unranked equipment. like base mod capacity will be increased from 0 to 15 for all players. So from 0 to 15, every player will have their base mod capacity increased by 15. So without formering any Warframe, like say if you get a Warframe or you get a weapon, without formering it, when you just get it, brand spanking new, it's now going to have an additional 15 capacity. And it also says, so those players that are under MR15 should have increased mod capacity available for them for unranked equipment. So this is mostly for people who are just starting the game, who don't want to invest or don't have enough time to invest in form. But this seems more like a move for individuals who don't want a former or don't have enough time to form. So they just give them a little added boost. Random squads, it says random squads will now be disbanded after mission, and only pre-made squads will be kept after mission completion. Okay, that's good. Like, yeah, so when the mission is over, if you're in a random group of squad, it will automatically end after the mission is over. Because nobody wants to play with randoms who can't make up their mind if they want to go to extraction or not. So if the moment I get to extraction and you're not at extraction, they're going to give me a timer or it's going to automatically disband after the mission is over. Or maybe directly after I defeat an enemy and the mission has been completed, depending on the objective. The co-op ends and I don't have to worry about extraction. It just ends, and then all of a sudden you're unlinked towards those who were your squad with before, who were randoms who popped up in the mission, which is very good. There's no need to co-op with people who you have no intention of co-oping with once your mission is over. So that's very good as well. News cosmetics for Gyre, don't care. Gyre was not, I mean, if you're into Gyre, that's good, but if you're not a Gyre main, doesn't really matter. Drifter operator here, doesn't really matter. Outfits, new decorations, evil chair. Add some lumber support to your backroom or orbiter, but be ready for potential consequences. Okay, so you can now add an evil looking constructed chair that they created. New dojo decorations. Bring Holvania into your clan dojo with a series of 1999 themed decorations. Okay, so the next major update, or the next update coming in February, will bring Holvania decorations, which I will probably invested into the dojo. So that's that. The new Warframe called Temple will be arriving sometime in March, I believe. And they will give more examples of who he is in Devstream 185. So there's a new Warframe coming, but they haven't given a definitive answer when that new Warframe will be revealed. They just give a little hint drops that this Warframe exists and his name is Temple. And he's going to be playing guitar. So he's going to be like Octavia, but without, you know, without Octavia's band thing. What is it called again? Summer chord? No, the summer chord is something within the ship. It's part of Octavia Anthem's thing. Memory. Try to remember everything. Remembering everything is difficult. Like remembering that you saw Gundam, or should I say remembering that I saw Gundam way back then of Gundam X. And the only reason I remember that I saw Gundam is Tifa Adil. Okay, so what else? What else? And 1999 bloopers. Okay, but I believe that's it. I'm going all the way from top to bottom, and apparently that's all there is with regards to everything that was the Devstream recap. It was the new Warframe called Temple, which doesn't have a release date. It's new Dojo decorations, which are going to be coming in February. Evil chair decorations. New hairstyles and outfits also going to be coming in February. And weapon modifications and weapon skins, which is a standard in Warframe anyway. Jara Cosmetics, which is going to be coming out. More ribbon capacities, which is you're going to get 30 more ribbon capacities and 15 more mod capacity. And then there's standard long-term improvements with regards to proto frames, which is part of the Kim system. That's going to be coming as well. And of course, the big one is the Aura Forma rebrand, which you're able to move the Aura Forma from its Aura slot into any capacity slot, and thus put any mod slot into that Aura location. Basically allow you to move things around easier. And of course the tech rot stuff I talked about, and of course the stuff with regards to not the tech rot, what was it? Uh, the Nightwave Warframe 1999 Nightwave, which is called Tech Rot Encore, and that's coming in March. And of course the Lavos, which is coming in February 12th, and then of course um, the Heirloom for Rhino, which is coming March 6th, and of course the Tenacon tickets, which is going to be on sale. Uh, not no, Rhino is February 6th, not March 6th. Rhino's February 6th, and of course Tenacon is February 7th, and of course that's pretty much it. The one I'm mostly interested in is the Rhino, as well as more than that is the Labos and the Takra Encore event, which will bring the 1999 decorations, which is going to be coming in March, and of course the Chem System rework, and the Gyro Deluxe skin, and the Scaldra weapons, and Technocyte Codas, as well as the Aura Forma, which will be turned into Omniforma. So that stuff is coming in March. All the stuff with the Aura Forma, the Chem System, the 1999 decorations, the Drifter, the skins, the weapons, all that stuff is coming later, not this February. The only stuff coming February is the Lavos, the Rhino, the Tanacon tickets, and one other thing. It's hard to remember all these damn things. Oh yeah, and I think 1999 theme music, which is going to be on Spotify. So that's pretty much it. That's all I could say with regards to that. So I wanted to state those things verbally. If I never actually text them in within the PlayStation community, if I missed them, I only really missed two, and that was the whole Aura thing, and of course, um, the weapons. They're actually coming in March as well. Everything else I pretty much stated before, such as the heirloom and stuff. So I'm just gonna play Warframe right now after I just described everything. I mean, I wish I could actually show this stuff, but I think if I did show it, if I did show it from here to get like a recap. if I did do it from here, and from here, and from here, and from here, and from here, everything that's like, if you're seeing this, like if I go down, like basically everything that's here, all the way from the hotfix going upwards, was all part of the Warframe Devstream 184. So anything that says February here, they spoke about it, including the stuff that they spoke about that are coming in March as well. So everything that was on Devstream about February and March is present here. But if I go onto any of this, it would stop my video from recording PlayStation because it goes outside of the broadcast. So that's all I can say with regards to that. I'm just going to play the game from now on and move forward. MT for a deal, man. It's like trying to, it's like trying to remember things. It's like trying to remember everything you learned from art school, or you personally learn by yourself.
Destroy the hives to sterilize the area.
I mean, it's hard to remember this stuff. Like Chaya Obscure, like Chayaro Obscure.
That was a juggernaut. They were lured out by the death.
Chayaro Obscure means
It should go
light
or
and
aim
dark.
the fight to draw it out. All nodes destroyed. The hive is vulnerable.
And that's a, I think it's a specific art terminology word. It's, it's like when an artist is shading something in black and white, if they're putting a lot of blacks and taking a lot of whites out, or putting a lot of whites and taking a lot of blacks out, that's what that terminology means. Chiaro Obscure or something like that, or light obscure of light. I mean, I'm totally butchering the name, but it's like you're trying to remember specific Italian name things. Be like, man, I'm not even Italian. It's hard for me to even say anything in Italian.
Destroy the hive. All hives destroyed. Head to extraction.
I remember a long time ago, this douchebag was telling me that I'm a pretentious artist or something like that. They're like, listen, man, if you do something and you practice what you do, you're doing it. Like if I bake a cake and I continue to bake cakes, then I'm a cake baker. Like, you're not pretending to be a cake baker, you've baked cakes. So if you do art, then you're an artist. It doesn't matter if you're good at it, you are that thing. Being good at something doesn't mean you're not an artist. It just means that you're not good at it, but you are still doing the thing. The people who made Futurama, they're shitty at art. Look at their artwork. They're shitty, but they're still artists.
This is a mobile
The
defense mission.
Futurama people are still artists, even though their stuff doesn't look good,
Defend a number of locations
because they
while I complete
do what they
terminal
say they
high.
do.
Be prepared for heavy resistance. I can't do this without you.
I guess some people believe that you're only a thing if people hire you to do something. That you're not really a thing until they hire you. That really doesn't make sense. So you tell me for every mofo that's never hired to do something, they're not that thing because no one hires them to do it? Them being good at it doesn't mean that they can't do it. Or they're not doing it. They're just not good at it. It's like if I decide to make beer. I know how to make beer and I've made beer. What I'm good at making beer doesn't mean I don't know how to make beer. Just my beer isn't good.
Multiple targets ahead.
Like there's a lot of stupid fucking people, man, in this world. They're like, listen, don't tell me I don't know how to make fucking beer. And I'm not a beer maker. If I know how to make beer, whether you like the taste of my beer doesn't mean I don't know how. I'm not a beer maker. You just don't like my taste of my beer. Motherfucker.
Area completed. Move on. This will only get more difficult. Get to a terminal and prepare for enemy resistance.
Even Gordon Ramsay's thieving ass. What he used to say, steal like an artist and shit. Even his stealing ass, famous stealing ass, admits that you're still a thing, whether you're good at that thing or not. If you know how to do it, if you apply the foundations and you do exactly what you're told, and what you're doing is the way to do it. How good you are at it is a different story. Some weird ass whirlwind, man. Got them damn thieves admitting that they're thieves and still get away with it. Weird fucking world.
Terminal hacked. Keep moving.
Oh shit, I forgot all about this beam cannon thing. This thing actually kills you. I thought this was just an in-game animation. This thing actually KOs you. completely forgot why I was using Octavia. I'm like, why am I going into that mission with Octavia? Because I remember she was supposed to be using her resonator. That's what it was, the Manticore. Keep thinking Soma Cord, and I forgot the Soma Cord is the thing within the ship. The Manticore. Yeah. So Temple is going to be.
Knock, knock. Now, who would be knocking all the way out here? Operator, I don't think you should answer that.
Yeah, Temple is going to be like a spiritual successor of Octavia. She's more like pop. Her music is more like pop and stuff, but he's going to be like heavy metal from what I've heard. He's going to be like a heavy metal type Warframe, guitar bass mostly. So he's going to be like metal bass Warframe, rock metal, heavy metal, death metal. That's the type of Warframe he's going to be. So he's going to be like a more extreme version of Octavia with guitar and all, from what I've heard. So that said, don't really need Octavia. I was just wondering what that thing was called in the Manticore.
Ready to kick bottom.
Maybe it's just me, but orders seem to be getting weirder each update. Either he's getting weirder or his voice acting is getting darker. I mean, that guy, Orden Karras, was a human being. Maybe his personality is coming out with each new update. Who knows? What's the spelling for that thing? You know what? I'm starting to get a little concerned. Forgetting the name. Chayaro. Obscure. Obscura. Obscuro. Ciaro Oscure. Let me let me hear it. I mean, I remember it is. It's just that it's been a while since I've actually used the word. Typically, I always say shading of tones of black and white. I never actually used the terminology. Let me turn this up. What? I can't hear anything. Oh, okay. Turn that off. Okay, let's try it again.
Chiaroscuro. Chiaroscuro.
Chiaroscuro.
Chiaroscuro.
Chiaroscuro.
Chiaroscuro.
Okay, that's the name. I was doing work today. I was wondering what the hell was the terminology for this. Shading of black and white is not the actually professional name. Caravaggio and Leonardo did a lot in their works, but I completely forgot the actual wording for it. Because it's not really important to know it, but when you're talking about it and you want a specific word, it's very important. Just like it's very important to know that a metaphor, which is like that video game metaphor, is a representation of yourself into a thing, kind of like personas, which is a perfect name for that game metaphor. Like me equals playing video games, or sun equals keeping earth warm, or sun equals heat, something like that. Or Nyx equals Warframe. That's what metaphors are. E equals MC square, kinda. Or E equals, or MC square equals Albert Einstein. Or apple falling from tree equals Isaac Newton. What's that word again for it? These damn art terms that are gonna drive me crazy. What is it called? God damn it. Memories are very important. It's not Enmata. Enmanata. That's not that. It's the name for it. That's the name for it. It's the name for it. It'll come to me. Screw it. It'll come to me. Coincidentally, Enmanata is basically like in Bugs Bunny cartoons when you hit someone over the head and they see stars flying around their head, or they get dizzy and see like little twizzly lines around their head, or like the stuff circling around Banshee. The drawing of this, like if someone was to draw this, those would be called enmanatas. It's like little things that represents how a person is feeling or an effect of the person. Now, actually, now to think about it, no, this is a passive thing happening around Banshee. Typically, enmanatas are things that happens based on effect. I fell, or I laughed too hard, or I eat ice cream and I get brain freeze. Enmanata is a feeling, an expression of a feeling of an effect of a thing done onto a person. Or being surprised, using an object to show surprise. Or being enlightened, using a light bulb or a bulb itself. Or a hot poker or something to represent a feeling on top of your head or something like that, or around your body or something. But the other one, this very important one, um, not an Enmanata, something else. Trying to remember these things. Let me type it in and see what I find. Word to describe.
Our intel suggests that our person of interest is in the vicinity. Search for the hostage and bring them home.
No, not a metaphor. A metaphor describes something that's something else. I know it's a figure of speech. Yes, Nyx equal like Warframe. It describes something. That's not what I'm talking about. Not a metaphor. It's... God damn it. I'm trying to remember.
The enemy is on high alert. The moment you enter the holding area, they'll trigger the execution sequence.
Drawing terminology.
Rescue the hostage before it finishes. That was a juggernaut. They were lured out by the death of infested. Lay low and it should go away, or amp up the fight to draw it out.
Oh, wait a minute. What the hell? Oh, I'm in mission. Juxtaposition. That's it. How the hell did I forget that?
The Juggernaut has moved on. It's safe to proceed.
Juxtaposition, that's what it is. Juxtaposition is very important. An apple that fall from the tree equals Isaac Newton. Juxtapose. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. It's juxtaposition because apple equals you having healthy teeth.
Hurry up. You are running out of time.
So you don't have to see the doctor because your teeth is healthy because you brush it and eat right food. Juxtaposition. And there's a lot of assholes in this world, man. I swear. Everyone will try to test your intelligence. There's a lot of assholes. Everyone will try to test your intelligence. Like they can't just be easy. It's like they can't be easy. All you gotta do is be easy. Like they can't just be. All you gotta do is just be easy. And they're assholes because they're afraid. They're afraid that you'll take away something that they have. Or they're afraid that you will interrupt or corrupt what it is that they have, and they will become like you. Like say you're in a place where there's homeless people. You don't want to associate yourself with them. So you're afraid once they start to talk to you and you get too friendly with them, you might become like them. So you treat them like dirt. Not because they're homeless, but because you're scared that by treating them with respect and stuff, you're lowering yourself to have them within your, I guess, your mentality of acceptance. You've accepted them because you're being friendly to them. and that's no good. You can't accept them because accepting them means, you know, it's a bad thing because you're now accepting homelessness. And you don't want to accept homelessness because homelessness is considered something bad. So you don't be friendly to them because by being friendly to them means you're accepting their nature.
Ordis wonders, why is he here?
This is why
But he
I don't.
supposes everyone has to be somewhere.
This is why I don't pay attention to fucking assholes, because they're pricks, and they come in. Most of them come in the form of people who've never actually truly struggled. Like most punk ass cops are a good example, and you know that they're punk ass cops because if you ask any cop and say, "Hey, have you ever been homeless or been in a situation where you were nearly homeless?" And if a majority of them say no, they're punk ass cops because they've never experienced anything that's really hard. The hardest thing, like most cops experience, is when they become cops and then they have to deal with people who've been in hard situations. Thus, their lives are now become harder because of the world around them. You're like, fuck out of here. You were never poor from the beginning. You never struggled. Your hardship started when you had to, in relations to your job, not your life, you fucker. That goes the same for peace officers and other people too, including military people. But like, man, did you come from a poor family when you joined the military, or was you come from a good family? It all matters because you can't talk about struggles if you're talking about your job, because everyone has struggled in jobs. Being born into poverty, that ain't a struggle in a job. That's just you have no fucking choice because your parents were poor. You could climb out of it and don't whine about it, but you don't get to choose where you're born into. That's why I say most cops are punk ass bitches. Most of them, the ones that aren't, are the people who understand this and understand that they've never gone through those troubles, and then they get that they need to respect others with regards to their lives not being the same as others. That's why you see certain people, like especially Jimmy Carter, go to certain countries when his presidency was over, and he understood even before he became a president. He understood that type of balance. You know, he's not, you know, he's not a Trump, or he's not a Nixon, or he's not a Clinton, or a Bush. You know, each of those guys have their own good qualities and bad qualities. But he was more of a humane type person. He believes in the humanity more than the others would. Hell, probably even more than Obama ever could. Like, a lot of people will say, hell no, but like, hey, don't get it twisted. Just because Obama is black doesn't mean he did some fucked up shit. All right. Everyone remembers Obamacare, and they let him know that they remember Obamacare. Okay, that's spy. And Manatas. Juxtaposition. Metaphors. Positives. All important things to remember. A positive is renaming something else within a sentence. The sun. The big red thing that's a huge ball of flame. I just renamed it. Call it the huge ball of flame. Oh, you mean the sun, the thing that's above us? Yes, yes, the sun. That's a
All said.
positive.
Serviced your weapons myself.
Metaphor. Me equals something else. Me equals I'm playing this video game. Me equals gamer. Metaphor. Modifier. Syndicate mods. Modifiers. It's like, hey, what's a modifier in a sentence? Oh, it's a syndicate mod in Warframe. You know, the mod called MAIM. And then the other mod called Crippling MAIM. Oh, so MAIM is the modifier? No, Crippling MAIM is the modifier because it's been modified to be just like MAIM, but tweaked to be slightly better. It's been modified. So it's lots of things to remember in this world. Some very important, some not so important. Like you don't need to know how to make bread to survive, but you probably do need to know how to cook rice or cook something in order to survive. Oh yeah, okay, I got the right one. It's strange how juxtaposition and a positive are almost akin to each other. Or, I mean, juxtaposition and modifiers are almost akin to each other. You know, like an apple equals no doctor. No, actually, no, they're very different. Because an apple equals no doctor means the result of you eating an apple and eating the right thing, so you don't have to visit the doctor. Whereas modifiers is a thing to describe what it is. You know, me equals gaming. I'm doing the thing. I'm not preventing doing something to prevent me from being affected by something. I'm doing something that I liked. So they are a bit different. Let's do this. They're very different, actually.
Understand Pazul to understand his Narmer. You know these vaults. Get in. Find what you can.
Oh, Matar. Giving me a cipher to be cracked. Come to me in humility. Abase yourself. You will understand.
I knew it. I knew there was something else I forgot. It's like, why the hell did I make this video? Why did I want to do this video? It's like, now I remember. Now I remember. Filial devotion. I remember saying it in the previous video, and I know there was going to be some genius that say that's not what that means. Like, I know exactly what filial devotion means. I just use it in a different context, like a metaphor.
Truly sorry for everything. I saw the truth far too late. She will never forgive me. But you will, won't you?
It's relating to one's family or one's master. But it's a little bit more than that.
Thank you. My brother is unwell. I will burn the sickness out of him if I have to.
Like I describe filial devotion as an attachment to what I love, what I care about. You must be devoted to the specific thing that you care about, and you can only be successful at it if you're devoted to it and endure it. Filial devotion is association to one family or one's warlord through bloodline, or dedication for your master, like a samurai is to his master. You're devoted as a samurai to the death, to a princess or something like that. Or to your mother, your father, or your clansmen, like in Warframe. Filial devotion. But I use it in the context of being enduring and being successful at what you do or what you're trying to do, and to keep doing it every day. You're devoted to your ends. So your ends, whatever it is you love, is your family. I'm a writer. Let's say I'm a writer. My writing is my God. Thus it is my father and my mother. Thus it is my family. Filial devotion.
The specialist alive. Their wideband scans should reveal Narmer's purpose in this sector.
What of your purpose now? Will you sire entering red mysteries, pure apes? Which of us truly needs to save another?
The enemy is at our doorstep. We must defend our quick.
I brought the wrong Warframe to the party. So busy trying to cloak this dude. I should be killing the enemies. Actually, screw that. I'm going to use the noise one, noise arrows. Yeah. Sleep arrow for the win. Putting everybody to sleep. Putting everybody to sleep. Go to sleep. this is why I tell people like I virus like an A tier to a S tier Warframe when I used to scale them because every one of her kit, everything in her kit works. First ability, second ability, third, fourth, it all works. Putting everybody to sleep. Putting everybody to sleep. I mean, in all truth, I brought the wrong Warframe to the party, but the great part about Avara is like she's never really the wrong Warframe. She could do almost everything. If the enemy is too strong, all she needs to do is hit him a couple of times to get him into, you know, the armor state. Then she put him to sleep, and then she let the other Warframes go to town on them. If she wants to do stealth, she does stealth. If she wants to do crit damage, she uses her second. Like there's nothing about Ivara. Well, maybe her fourth ability is probably her weakest. I would say maybe her fourth is her weakest. But it does have a multiplier of 7. So if you make a strength Ivara with a multiplier of 7, then she could take down bosses. So even though her fourth is her weakest, it really isn't useless. So that's why I say she's anywhere from an A to a S tier Warframe, because a lot of people argue that her fourth is the worst. So you can have her anywhere from A plus to S. So I typically have her as an S minus Warframe. But this is not about that. This is just about me having fun today.
Why is he here? Oda supposes everyone has to be somewhere.
And trying to remember everything about Devstream, which I just did. I said everything about Devstream. So I'm about to hop off now. So just for anyone who's want a quick recap of that recap, it was the heirloom. It was the aura slot, which is now going to be for every Warframe moving forward come March 2025. That's not going to arrive in February. The aura slot is now going to become a universal thing. So it's not just going to be able to fit any aura here. You're going to be able to move it anywhere within your capacity slot, which means this will then be an empty slot, which means you could then move any aura type. As if I press this, you'll be able to move it here. See, you can't do it now because they haven't put in the code yet. But once they make the aura slot an Omni, because they're going to get rid of aura, and they're going to now rename it, it's being rebranded as Omni, not aura anymore, meaning it could go anywhere. So Omni can now be placed anywhere, probably even in the Exila slot. And which leaves this open, especially this is very important because sometimes you want prime sure footed here and you want an Exilis mod as well, but the aura and the Exilis mod are limited to only Exilis or aura can go here. So now they've made at least one of them movable to go anywhere, and that will be coming in March. So that's a big deal because now you can put anything. You now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 slots, and this will be your 9th slot. Whereas these two were always limited to both R and Exilos. Now you have one more slot. And of course, the other thing with regards to the update, we're now going to get 15 more capacity slots with regards to Warframe slots. So if you first started the game, or even if you're a veteran of the game, you'll have 15 more slots. And then you'll have 30 more Ribbon Cipher slots. So if you're stocked up on Ribbon, you maxed out, you want more Ribbon slots, you'll have 30 more of those as well. And of course, there's the stuff like the Tenocon, which is coming. We could buy tickets as early as February 7th. And then there's the Nightwave stuff with regards to Warframe 9099. That's coming in March as well with the new Nightwave stuff. And then there's also the new weapons and the new Warframe, which is the Temple Warframe, which is also going to be coming in March, which is kind of like an Octavia variant, but a better version of Octavia, because this guy is going to be heavy metal. He's going to be a heavy metal Warframe. He's going to carry a guitar and all. And then there's the new weapons and the new dojo cosmetics and new dojo decorations and stuff like that. And all of that stuff is coming in March, but the stuff that's coming in February is going to be the Rhino Heirloom, and of course the wait, what did he say here? I think I had it in front of me. I didn't refresh. What the hell? Lavos Prime, I believe, is coming in March. Yeah, the stuff that's coming in February. Rhino Heirloom, the Tat Rock Encore music is going to be on Spotify. The official Warframe wiki has now been official. It's no longer like fan-made websites, their own thing now. TennoCon tickets and all that stuff. So there's technically like four things that's coming in February, and Rhino is one of them. Their new Warframe website is up. The music from the Encore is coming, and of course, when did it say? When did it say Lavos is coming? Oh, Lavos is also coming in February. He's not coming in March, so Lavos is coming February 12th. As well as Lavos' weapon, Cedo, Dwalzorin, his Saindana, and Nimandi Prime armor set. Yep, and that's all there is. But the main one, the big one, was the the Aura slot, because it's a big deal because now you have an additional Warframe slot, and you now can, if you're having problems forming things and moving things around to get better capacity and better performance out of your Warframe, you now have the ability to move your aura anywhere and then have that slot now open, so on and so forth. And I would say it's kind of a big deal, but it doesn't feel like that much of a big deal. But it is kind of a big deal at the same time because they're always releasing heirloom skins, they're always releasing primes, they're always releasing music, and they're always releasing Nightwave stuff. So those things are normal. And they're always tweaking the game with regards to performance, such as Talsis and stuff like that. But every now and again, they will do something like change up melee and change up aura slots. So this is kind of a big deal because they've never done a change in the aura slot whatsoever at all since the beginning of their game. They've changed how much capacity you have. They changed the type of formers you could get, like Umbra formers and different type of Exilis formers, new formers, and different type of Riven formers as well. I mean, not Riven's formers, but Riven ciphers and stuff like that. But they've never actually changed up anything with regards to the aura, other than you having the ability to have a universal aura slot that you could slot in any aura like this. This is a different aura from this one. See, and it still fits in there. It doesn't give you that red signal. Like you could pick any aura and it will fall in there and you won't have any problem with it whatsoever at all, regardless of the type of aura it is. It doesn't really matter. But what they're doing now, they're taking this universal aura, and the universal symbol is typically this little circular looking thing here, and they're moving the aura anywhere you want within your capacity slot location, thus leaving this open that you could move any one of these into here or whatever it is. So they've never actually moved any of the Aura stuff before or the Exilis stuff before. Those have always been where they are since the beginning of the game. So this is a big deal for them. So yeah, that's all I got to say for this video. So that's all I got to say for this. I don't think there's anything else for me to do. So I'm going to keep it quiet from now on. And if my internet stays up, I'll probably pay for about another 30 minutes and then I'll go to bed. And oh yeah, I did remember what I was going to say. Like this whole time I'm talking about reworks and Warframe stuff and stuff I remember about art. I completely forgot that for the month of February, other than the anime stuff that's going to be uploaded in February, the game that I was going to play in December is the game that I completely forgot I was going to play in December. I end up playing Bloodborne from December going into January, but the game that I was supposed to be playing in December was the Assassin's Creed, which was Rise of, the tyranny of King Washington. I said I was going to complete that. So that's what I'm going to do for the remainder of February. I'm going to complete Assassin's Creed DLC, The Tyranny of King Washington. So, because I never actually finished Assassin's Creed 3. I beat the game, but I never finished the entire game. And the DLCs are part of the entire game. Just like Bloodborne's DLC is part of the entire game. If you don't play the Bloodborne DLC, you're not really playing all of Bloodborne. Same for Assassin's Creed 3. If you're not finishing all the DLC, then you really haven't finished Assassin's Creed 3 or Assassin's Creed 3. So that's what I'm going to complete in February. Assassin's Creed 3 or Assassin's Creed 3, depending on how you want to say it. So I'm going to play this for about 30 minutes. And come tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, I'm going to jump into Assassin's Creed 3. If I'm not busy tomorrow, I'm going to probably rock Assassin's Creed 3 or the day after. But I don't want to mess with that game, The First Descendant, man. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. So I'm going to call it a day for right now. I'm going to log off. I don't need to play this anymore. I'll play this on my own time.